21. Most historical transgender figures you didn't see coming. History is filled with trailblazers who defied convention and reshaped the world in ways many never saw coming. From jazz legends who revolutionized music to ancient emperors who shattered societal norms, these 21 transgender figures broke barriers and left an indelible mark on history. Who were they? And how did their courage and authenticity challenge the rules of their time? Prepare to be captivated as we uncover the incredible stories of these groundbreaking individuals who changed the world in ways you never expected. Christine Jorgensen, 1926-1989. Born in 1926 as George William Jorgenson Jr., Christine Jorgensen became a pivotal figure in the transgender rights movement. She was among the first Americans to undergo gender confirmation surgery, traveling to Denmark for the procedure in the early 1950s. Upon returning to the United States, Jorgensen's story propelled her to instant fame, where her candidness and wit captivated the public. At first, I was very self-conscious and very awkward, but once the notoriety hit, it did not take me long to adjust, she confessed. Jorgensen navigated her newfound celebrity with grace, engaging with the press and leveraging her platform to champion transgender rights. In a time when discussions about gender identity were rare, her experience sparked public conversation and controversy. I find on college campuses it's incredible. The acceptance is marvelous, she noted, highlighting the evolving understanding of gender among younger demographics. Through open discussions about her transition, Jorgensen challenged societal norms related to gender and sexuality, ultimately lessening the stigma associated with transgender identities. Her lasting impact continues to inspire individuals seeking gender affirmation and societal acceptance. This demonstrates the power of visibility and representation for marginalized communities. While Jorgensen stated, "I did my own thing, and I've got to admit I did it only for myself," the repercussions of her journey reached far beyond her personal life. Joan of Arc, c. 1412-1431. A French military hero and Catholic saint, Joan of Arc defied societal norms of her time by rejecting traditional female attire and hairstyles. Opting for male clothing, including armor, sparked controversy and accusations of religious transgression. Joan insisted her clothing choice was divinely inspired, proclaiming, "I am not afraid. I was born to do this." A statement reflecting her conviction that her actions were guided by a higher power. The motivations behind Joan's adoption of men's attire remain a topic of historical discussion. Some scholars argue it was a practical choice for her military duties, while others view it as a powerful statement about her personal identity. This ambiguity has led some to consider her a pioneering transgender warrior, highlighting the historical presence of diverse gender expressions. Joan's story challenges conventional notions of gender roles, particularly within religious contexts, as she navigated a male-dominated society while maintaining her female identity. Joan's audacious rejection of societal expectations continues to fuel discussions about gender identity today, illustrating the complexities of applying modern gender concepts to historical figures. She did not seek to change her biological sex. Rather, she used clothing as a means to assert her authority and fulfill her perceived divine mission. As historian Florence Scott notes, "We can only interpret her," emphasizing the difficulty of understanding her gender expression within a medieval framework. Joan of Arc remains a compelling example of how historical figures can transcend traditional categories, prompting ongoing dialogue about the nature of gender and identity. Because YouTube will prioritize interactive videos, please comment "OK" if you find this video interesting. Thank you. Lily Elba, 1882-1931. Danish artist Lily Elba, born Einar Wegener, is recognized as one of the earliest recipients of sex reassignment surgery. Elba and future wife Gerda Gottlieb met while studying at Copenhagen's Royal Danish Academy of Fine Arts, marrying in 1904 when Gottlieb was 19 and Wegener 22. While Einar, who later adopted the name Lily, focused on landscape painting, Gerda specialized in fashion illustrations and portraits of stylish women. The couple moved to Paris in 1912, a city where Lily felt more comfortable expressing her female identity. Gerda frequently featured Lily as her muse, portraying her as a captivating, petite femme fatale, with almond eyes and fashionable attire. In 1930, Lily embarked on a pioneering medical journey, undergoing one of the first sex reassignment surgeries in Germany. This highly experimental procedure involved a series of 4 operations over 2 years. These included the removal of testes, ovarian implants, and the construction of a vagina. Tragically, post-surgical complications led to Lily's death in 1931. Lily's story was immortalized in David Ebershoff's 2000 novel, The Danish Girl, and its 2015 film adaptation directed by Tom Hooper. Her life highlights the complexities of gender identity and the challenges faced by early transgender individuals seeking surgical intervention. The relationship between Gerda and Lily also challenges traditional notions of gender and artistic expression. Gerda's feminist approach to portraiture revolutionized the depiction of women, often with Lily as the subject. Lily's legacy continues to promote understanding and awareness of transgender issues, serving as a powerful tribute to the pioneers of transgender history. Sylvia Rivera, 1951–1990. Born in New York City in 1951 to a Puerto Rican father and Venezuelan mother, Sylvia Rivera is a key figure in the history of transgender activism and the early gay liberation movement in the United States. Marked by poverty, homelessness, and rejection due to her gender identity, Rivera's early life was challenging. At 11, she left home, living on the streets where she met Marsha P. Johnson, a fellow transgender activist who became a close friend and ally. Rivera played a crucial role in the 1969 Stonewall riots, a watershed moment in the fight for LGBTQ+ rights. These riots, a series of violent confrontations between police and members of the LGBTQ+ community, marked a turning point in the gay rights movement. However, as the movement evolved, transgender individuals, particularly people of color like Rivera, often experienced marginalization and exclusion. Undeterred, Rivera and Johnson founded the Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, STAR, in 1970. STAR provided shelter, food, and support to homeless transgender youth, demonstrating Rivera's dedication to her community. Throughout her life, Rivera fiercely advocated for the recognition and inclusion of transgender people within the larger LGBTQ+ rights movement. Reflecting on her experiences in a 1995 interview, she stated, "The movement had put me on the shelf, but they took me down and dusted me off. Still, it was beautiful." Rivera's activism was informed by an understanding of the interconnectedness of race, class, and gender identity, and she consistently championed the most vulnerable members of the LGBTQ+ community, particularly transgender women of color. Sylvia Rivera's activism continues to inspire activists today. Her life and work highlight the importance of intersectional activism within social movements and serve as a reminder to acknowledge and elevate the voices of transgender individuals, especially those from communities of color whose contributions have frequently been overlooked or minimized. Marsha P. Johnson, 1945–1992. Born in Elizabeth, New Jersey in 1945, Marsha P. Johnson was a pioneering Black American transgender activist, drag queen, and prominent figure in the LGBTQ+ rights movement. From an early age, Johnson openly embraced her transgender identity despite experiencing discrimination and violence. Moving to New York City in 1963, she quickly became a vital part of the city's vibrant drag scene and a key player in the historic 1969 Stonewall Uprising, a catalyst for the modern gay liberation movement. Throughout her life, Johnson passionately advocated for transgender rights and tirelessly supported homeless LGBTQ+ youth. With close friend Sylvia Rivera, she co-founded the Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, STAR, in 1970. STAR focused on providing shelter, support, and resources to those in need, highlighting Johnson's dedication to improving the lives of marginalized members of the LGBTQ+ community. Her activism took many forms, including street protests, advocating for equal rights, demanding an end to police brutality, and seeking accessible healthcare and social services for the transgender community. Known for her vibrant personality and her signature phrase, "Pay it no mind," Johnson continued her advocacy until her untimely death in 1992. The film Pay It No Mind, The Life and Times of Marsha P. Johnson, documented her life and activism, cementing her legacy as a powerful symbol of resistance and resilience for the transgender community. Chevalier Deon, 1934-2019. Defying 18th century European gender norms, the Chevalier Deon was a French spy, diplomat, and soldier who lived and presented as both male and female. Born Charles Geneviève Louis Auguste André. Timothée Deon de Beaumont, Deon was highly educated and joined the French Secret Service. Operating in Russia, they used the female alias Léa de Beaumont. A dragoon captain during the 7 Years' War, Deon was later sent to London in 1762 to participate in negotiating the peace treaty that ended the conflict. Their relationship with the French government subsequently deteriorated, prompting Deon to publish classified diplomatic documents, an act of blackmail against King Louis XV. To counter Deon's actions, the king ordered them to adopt female attire in 1777, a decree that unexpectedly heightened Deon's celebrity. Debate surrounding Deon's gender continued in England and ultimately resulted in a court decision declaring them a woman. Embracing this ruling, Deon wrote to the French National Assembly in 1792, offering to lead a female Amazon army against France's enemies. Leading feminists of the time, such as Mary Wollstonecraft, praised Deon as an embodiment of female fortitude. The intricacies of Deon's gender identity were further revealed after their death in 1810. An autopsy showed a biologically male body, contradicting Deon's self-identification. The term Eonism was subsequently coined to define Deon's gender fluidity. Deon's life remains a captivating enigma, illuminating the complexities of gender throughout history and the difficulties of assigning gender after death, particularly given Deon's lived experiences as both male and female. Renee Richards, 1934-2019. Transgender tennis professional Renee Richards faced significant hurdles in her fight for inclusion in sports. In 1976, the United States Tennis Association, USTA, barred her from the U.S. Open based on a rule requiring chromosomal testing for female players. Richards, who transitioned from Richard Raskind after gender confirmation surgery in 1975, challenged this discriminatory practice. "I became a female, psychologically, socially, and physically," she asserted in court, emphasizing her female identity. Taking her case to the New York Supreme Court, Richards won a landmark decision that set a legal precedent for transgender athletes. This victory allowed her to compete in the U.S. Open and paved the way for transgender participation in various sports. Reflecting on her journey, she observed, "I never really did much actively. I just did something that served as an example." Despite facing criticism and intense public scrutiny, Richards became a powerful advocate for transgender athletes, fighting discrimination and championing equality. Her courage and determination remain an inspiration to many. Richards noted, "My biggest achievements are as an eye surgeon, but my legacy is probably going to be more my career in human rights." How inspiring do you find Richards' story? Comment with a 0 if you're moved to tears or a 9 if you're feeling empowered to make a difference. Michael Dillon, 1915-1962. Born Laura Maud Dillon on May 1, 1915, Michael Dillon holds a significant place in transgender history as the first known transgender man to undergo phalloplasty. Dillon's transition began in the late 1930s when they became the first woman to receive testosterone treatment, a crucial step in aligning their physical appearance with their gender identity. Between 1946 and 1949, Dillon underwent at least 13 surgeries performed by renowned surgeon Harold Gillies, resulting in the construction of male genitalia. Dillon's perspective on the mind-body relationship is encapsulated in the statement, "Where the mind cannot be made to fit the body should be made to fit, approximately at any rate." emphasizing the importance of medical intervention for transgender individuals. In 1946, Deon published the groundbreaking book, Self: A Study in Endocrinology and Ethics, which argued that being transgender is an inherent trait, not a mental illness. Their advocacy for medical treatments such as hormone therapy and surgeries was radical at the time, influencing how the medical community viewed transgender identities. Deon's impact extended to others, including Roberta Cowell, who also later transitioned. Deon's influence transcended their own personal journey. They were a pioneer in transgender healthcare and advocacy. Deon championed the role of personal experience in shaping medical understanding. Their writings remain essential in transgender history, emphasizing the need for both societal acceptance and medical support for individuals facing gender identity challenges. Michael Deon's legacy is one of courage and innovation, establishing a foundation for future generations' continued fight for transgender rights and societal recognition. Lucy Hicks Anderson, 1886–1954. Lucy Hicks Anderson, born Tobias Lawson in Waddy, Kentucky in 1886, lived openly as a woman, even marrying twice. Her first marriage to Clarence Hicks ended in divorce in 1929. A subsequent marriage to Reuben Anderson in 1944 drew intense scrutiny upon the revelation that Anderson was assigned male at birth. This led to perjury charges for allegedly misrepresenting her gender on the marriage license. During her trial, Anderson powerfully declared, "I defy any doctor in the world to prove that I am not a woman. I have lived, dressed, acted just what I am, a woman." Anderson's legal battles, predating the Stonewall riots, underscore the early struggles transgender individuals faced in their pursuit of rights. A pioneer in the fight for marriage equality, she challenged legal frameworks surrounding gender and marriage during a time when such discussions were rare. Her trials demonstrate historical persecution of individuals whose gender identities differed from societal norms, exemplified by her later conviction for fraud related to military spousal benefits. Though constrained by the societal limitations of her time, Lucy Hicks Anderson's courage and resilience continue to inspire today's fight for transgender rights. Her story highlights the intersection of transgender and marriage equality, reminding us of the long history of individuals who battled oppressive systems to defend their identities and relationships. Albert Cashier, 1843–1915. Born Jenny Irene Hodgers in Ireland. On December 25, 1843, Albert Cashier defied societal expectations by serving in the Union Army during the American Civil War. Seeking better opportunities, Cashier adopted male attire to find work and enlisted in the 95th Illinois Infantry on August 6, 1862. Throughout the war, they bravely participated in approximately 40 battles, including the Siege of Vicksburg and the Battle of Nashville. Cashier's courage was especially evident when they escaped Confederate captivity by overpowering a guard. Despite facing discrimination and hostility due to their gender identity, Cashier's dedication to their service remained unwavering. Post-war, they continued living as a man, receiving a veteran's pension and voting, rights unavailable to women at the time. Cashier's life exemplifies the lengths some go to live authentically, as shown by their comrades using male pronouns, reflecting their acceptance of Cashier's identity. A fellow soldier's remark, "I never suspected that he was not a man," highlights the genuineness of Cashier's life. Their story stands as an inspirational example of transgender involvement and sacrifice in historical conflicts, emphasizing the strength and determination needed to overcome societal barriers. Cashier's legacy underscores the importance of living authentically and the bravery required to embrace one's true self despite facing adversity. Albert Cashier's dedication to serving his country is truly remarkable. Comment "hero" if you agree that his story deserves more recognition. Coccinelle, 1931–2006. Jacqueline Charlotte Dufresnoy, known professionally as Coccinelle, French for ladybug, was a groundbreaking French transgender performer and singer, born August 23, 1931. From a young age, she felt a profound disconnect with her assigned male gender, recalling, "At age 4, I knew I was different." I was a girl, really, but nobody could see it. This led her to the vibrant world of entertainment, launching her career at the Chez Madame Arthur Cabaret in 1953. Coccinelle achieved historical significance as one of the first Europeans to undergo gender reassignment surgery in 1958. She described the experience as the moment Dr. Bureau rectified the mistake nature had made. Despite intense public scrutiny and discrimination, she continued her performing career and became a powerful voice for transgender rights, challenging societal norms and promoting greater acceptance. Her activism profoundly impacted the transgender rights movement. She founded organizations such as the Center for Aid, Research, and Information for Transsexuality and Gender Identity, and Devenir Femme, providing vital support to transgender individuals. Coccinelle's courage and perseverance not only illuminated the struggles of early transgender pioneers, but also inspired subsequent activists. Her lasting legacy highlights the importance of visibility and advocacy in advancing transgender rights, a cause she championed by declaring, "We must fight for our place in society." Virginia Prince, 1912-2009. Virginia Prince is a pivotal figure in transgender activism, known for her pioneering work as a publisher and advocate for transgender rights. In 1960, she launched Transvestia, a magazine providing a vital platform for transgender individuals, promoting self-expression and fostering understanding within a marginalized community. Prince's vision of inclusion is captured in her statement, "Live and let live is as good a motto for TVs as for any other group," underscoring the need for tolerance and acceptance within the transgender community. Prince's commitment to community building extended beyond publishing. In 1962, she founded the Society for the Second Self, Tri-S, an organization supporting heterosexual crossdressers and their families, providing a vital network of resources and companionship during a time of limited support. Initially identifying as a transvestite, Prince later adopted a broader transgender identity, popularizing the term transgender in the 1980s to encompass the spectrum between cross-dressing and transsexuality. Despite facing resistance for views occasionally at odds with emerging feminist and LGBTQ+ movements, Prince remained a resolute champion of transgender rights. Her activism challenged societal norms and fostered a deeper understanding of gender identity, significantly contributing to the foundation of the modern transgender rights movement. Reflecting on her life, she admitted, "Much of this turmoil could have been averted had I possessed a deeper self-awareness." Wewa, 1849-1896. Born around 1849, Wewa was a renowned Zuni artisan, weaver, and potter, embodying the Zuni two-spirit identity, Lamana. This term denotes a unique gender identity exceeding the traditional Western binary of male and female. Wewa's life and accomplishments challenged typical Western notions of gender, showcasing the breadth of gender diversity present in various indigenous cultures. At first mistakenly identified as a cisgender woman by Western anthropologists, Wewa's actual Lamana identity was essential to their work as a cultural liaison for the Zuni community. They participated in both traditionally male and female activities, mastering skills in pottery and weaving, and also taking part in ceremonies typically dominated by men. Matilda Cox Stevenson, an anthropologist and friend of Wewa, stated, "Wewa was the most intelligent person in the Pueblo, a testament to their profound cultural understanding." A powerful reminder of the strength and endurance of indigenous cultures and identities, Wewa's legacy continues to resonate. Their story underscores the need to understand gender within its cultural setting, resisting the imposition of Western gender norms on indigenous societies. "Tell all my friends in Washington goodbye. Tell President Cleveland, my friend, goodbye," Wewa declared, highlighting their strong connections to both their local community and the wider world beyond. Allan L Hart, 1890-1962. A pioneering figure in both medicine and transgender history, Allan L Hart led a multifaceted life, intertwining scientific advancement with his transgender identity. Born Lucille Alberta Hart in 1890, he became one of the first Americans to undergo a hysterectomy as part of his gender transition in 1917. Hart's groundbreaking work using X-rays for tuberculosis screening saved countless lives. Recognizing the importance of early diagnosis in managing the disease, his innovative methods were instrumental in public health initiatives that paved the way for modern epidemiological practices. Beyond his medical contributions, Hart was also a novelist exploring themes of gender and sexuality in his writing. His work provided a platform for transgender narratives. He expressed his satisfaction with his choices by stating, "I am happier since I made this change than I have ever been in my life, and I will continue this way as long as I live. I am ashamed of nothing." This statement reflects his commitment to living authentically in a society often hostile towards individuals like him. Hart's achievements challenged societal expectations of transgender people, demonstrating that they could excel in diverse fields like medicine and literature. His legacy inspires transgender individuals pursuing STEM and arts careers, emphasizing their continued active and valuable contributions to society. Billy Tipton, 1914 and 1989. Jazz musician and bandleader Billy Tipton forged a successful career in a male-dominated field, despite facing significant prejudice. Assigned female at birth, Tipton chose to live as a man to pursue his musical aspirations, keeping his gender identity private throughout his life. The discovery of his assigned sex at birth following his death in 1989 surprised his family and friends, sparking discussions around privacy and self-identity. Tipton's son, Scott Tipton, speculated that fear of rejection might have motivated his father's secrecy. Tipton's story illustrates the challenges faced by transgender individuals in the mid-20th century, highlighting societal pressures that forced many to live in secret. His unwavering dedication to music allowed him to flourish, leading the Billy Tipton Trio and producing acclaimed albums. Even with his professional success, Tipton's life was a constant negotiation between personal truth and societal expectations. If you like this video, please leave a number 9 in the comments below. Gabalas, 204–222. Reigning from 218 to 222 AD, Roman Emperor Gabalas is a notable historical figure for their extravagant and androgynous behavior, which challenged the boundaries of gender and sexuality in ancient Rome. Described as a tragic enigma lost behind centuries of prejudice, Gabalas deviated from societal norms by marrying multiple partners, both male and female. They often wore women's clothing and makeup, defying traditional Roman ideals of masculinity, and preferred the title Domina, lady, to Dominus, lord. The emperor's time and power was rife with conflict and intrigue, fueled by their desire to physically align with their gender identity. Accounts exist of Gabalas offering significant payments to physicians for surgical construction of a vagina. One story even details their interest in the most excruciating methods of genital removal. These actions sparked conversations about their gender identity, leading some scholars to propose that Gabalas might have been transgender. While Gabalas's reign was short-lived, ending with their assassination by the Praetorian Guard at age 18, their story remains a source of fascination for historians. Indeed, one scholar has observed that the debates about the boundaries between male and female go back thousands of years. Little Axe Broadnax. Born in Houston, Texas on December 28, 1916, Wilmer Little Axe Broadnax was a renowned gospel singer, celebrated for his powerful vocals and small stature. His remarkable ability to captivate audiences with his exceptional tenor voice was evident from a young age, leading him to perform with prominent groups like the Five Blind Boys of Mississippi and the Fairfield Four. Broadnax's commanding stage presence and vocal prowess distinguished him, with reviewers describing his voice as sweet but almost vicious, dripping with emotion. A significant part of Broadnax's life remained private. His assigned sex at birth was not publicly known until after his death in 1992. His story poignantly illustrates the often hidden histories of transgender individuals in music, revealing the challenges they faced in a discriminatory society. One observer noted, "Little Axe couldn't sing low because he had a relatively high voice. It wasn't falsetto, it was naturally high." This unique characteristic allowed him to transcend societal norms and prejudices, inspiring others to pursue their dreams regardless of obstacles. Broadnax's lasting legacy testifies to music's power to connect people across differences. His life encourages us to recognize and celebrate the diverse contributions of transgender artists, reminding us that the richness of gospel music is deeply intertwined with stories like his. As Broadnax might have said, "Music is a universal language that unites us all." Valerie Arkell Smith. Born in 1895, Valerie Arkell Smith, a transgender individual, attempted to live as a man named Victor Barker in the 1920s. Barker, associated with Italy's fascist party, adopted various personas, including a decorated war hero, a former boxer, a prosperous restaurateur, and a person of significant means. In 1923, Barker married a younger woman, Elfrida Howard, at St. Peter's Church in Brighton. However, the marriage dissolved within a few years due to Barker's relationship with another woman. Barker's biological sex was revealed in 1929 following an arrest for contempt of court related to unpaid debts. Subsequently charged and convicted at the Old Bailey for providing false information on the 1923 marriage license, Barker was imprisoned in Holloway, a women's prison. After this conviction, Barker used various aliases, including John Hill and Jeffrey Norton, struggling to earn a living. Barker's story exemplifies the hardships faced by those who challenged societal expectations in the early 20th century. Their life ended in relative anonymity and poverty, reflecting the complex and often difficult realities of early transgender experiences. Carole Brown. A U.S. Navy veteran born around 1927, Carole Angenly Brown embodies a pioneering yet often overlooked aspect of transgender and intersex history. A pivotal moment in Brown's life occurred during a routine medical examination when she was identified as intersex. Medical professionals of the era diagnosed her with female glands and wrongly classified her desire to transition as a serious mental illness. Despite these medical claims, Brown remained firm in her commitment to transition, stating, "I just want to become a woman as quickly as possible, that's all." Throughout the 1950s, Brown faced legal obstacles due to cross-dressing, ultimately leading to her arrest in Boston while purchasing a wedding dress. This incident highlighted societal prejudice against those who transgressed gender norms, especially impacting Black individuals. Navigating a society permeated by racism and transphobia, Brown's life illustrated the complex intersection of intersex and transgender identities as she fought against institutional attempts to control her gender expression. Sir Yuan Forbes, 11th Baronet. A pivotal figure in transgender history, Sir Yuan Forbes, 11th Baronet, fought for legal recognition of his male identity amidst substantial societal and legal barriers. Born Elizabeth Forbes Semple in 1912, Forbes recognized his male identity from an early age and began living as a man in the 1930s, supported by his mother. He pursued early gender-affirming treatments in Germany and successfully changed his legal name and gender to Yuan Forbes in 1952. This legal transition allowed Forbes to inherit his family's estate and title upon his elder brother's death in 1965. However, a cousin challenged the validity of Forbes's male identity, initiating a protracted 3-year legal battle that threatened his inheritance. The case proceeded privately, with a dozen medical experts testifying about the ambiguity of Forbes's gender. Ultimately, the judge ruled that Forbes was a hermaphrodite and affirmed his right to inherit the title as a man. Forbes's victory marked a landmark legal achievement for transgender recognition in the UK. His case highlighted the complex intersection of gender identity, inheritance law, and societal expectations, demonstrating the challenges faced by transgender individuals seeking legal affirmation of their identity. As one of the first transgender people to successfully navigate the legal system to confirm his gender, Forbes's legacy paved the way for increased legal recognition and protections for transgender individuals in the UK. And there you have it, 21 remarkable transgender figures who left their mark on history, shattering norms and inspiring change. Were you surprised by any of these stories? Do you know of other trailblazers who deserve to be remembered? We'd love to hear your thoughts, feelings, and any stories you'd like to share in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to continue exploring the untold histories of extraordinary lives.